I think it's very important when you have the best players in the world together, you got to compete and you got to play hard and you got to show the fans how good they really are.
The way the league has been treating Caitlin Clark has irritated Larry Bird. Since joining the WNBA, Caitlin Clark has radically transformed the league, from more viewership to sold-out arenas. Unfortunately, the league hasn't repaid the favor. Rather, it has made it possible for Caitlin to be mistreated, singled out, and harassed constantly. Finally, having had enough, Larry Bird has made an offer that is difficult for Caitlin Clark to turn down and even riskier for the league to turn down. What was said by Larry? And how did Caitlin react? Let's investigate. The WNBA found optimism in Caitlin Elizabeth Clark, the first overall choice in the 2024 WNBA draft.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
The WNBA has only witnessed growth overall since she joined the league. From the beginning of her debut season, Caitlin broke numerous records, including the all-time single-season assist record with an astounding 337 assists.
Could have held for one, did not, but able to hit. Here's the flick ahead. Alyssa Smith lays it in on the delivery from Clark. She finally missed one. Kennedy Carter has been 6 for 6 from the floor. Here's Clark. Finds the cutter. Boston inside for 2. Again, it's Clark to Boston.
Every game she played became a national event as she quickly rose to prominence as the WNBA's face. Matchups that were once part of the regular season feel like primetime contests. In order to see Caitlin Clark perform, thousands of fans now swarm arenas both at home and away from home. The building's energy is changed just by her presence. Her influence extends well beyond the court, as evidenced by her enormous TV ratings, sold-out stadiums, and the emergence of a new generation of league followers.
I just see the numbers. So, I know what the numbers are when she's playing, and I know what they are when she's not. I know what the attendance is when she's in a building and what it's not.
It's difficult not to become enthusiastic about what lies ahead when considering what she's already accomplished and the fact that it's only her first 2 seasons. Not only is the franchise she is creating with the WNBA unique, but it will go down in history.
Certainly right up there. We were talking with our crew after the game. We got at least 10 more years of watching Caitlin in her absolute prime. And it's so exciting. It's so fun to watch her. She's certainly the most exciting player, certainly the most fun player to watch in the league right now.
But since the league is doing everything but protecting her, you can't help but wonder if they have any interest in her future at all. Caitlin Clark is making a difference despite being manhandled, pushed over, and treated like an outsider. It is the most hilarious thing you will ever witness. Caitlin Clark's groin injury in June eliminated any further question. Before making a brief comeback against the New York Liberty, Clark missed up to 5 games. Even in the Indiana Fever games, TV viewership plummeted during those 5 games that Clark missed. Suddenly, their 9 million viewers dropped to less than 4 million. We all know that Caitlin Clark is the league's dominant player. Clark is therefore more than just a player. She is the driving force behind the WNBA franchise. However, as we have stated, the league has not shown any interest in reimbursing her thus far. She took 17% of all flagrant fouls in 2024. And given that it was her rookie year, that was an absurd figure.
On Sammy Whitcomb with 8 seconds left. Goes around to Gumake. Drives baseline. And shot rejected by Izzy McMcGore. Second opportunity is up and in by Alyssa Smith.
The league's unwillingness to safeguard its most valuable asset was evident during the June 17th game versus the Connecticut Sun. J.C. Sheldon had been hard on Caitlin during the game, but the referee dismissed it as excessive physicality. It continued until Sheldon actually poked Caitlin in the eye, right under the referee's nose.
Is that displacement? I think it is.
However, as Clark struggled to comprehend what in the world was happening, it became even more fascinating. Marina Mabrey knocked her to the ground. This type of bullying during the day is exclusive to the WNBA. Mabrey's foul was increased by the WNBA after the game, but he was not suspended. And that's the kind of tolerance that prompts players to attack Caitlin once more. They are aware that the repercussions will be minimal or non-existent. In addition to her mistreatment on the court, Caitlin Clark's $78,000 salary in contrast to her $11 million in endorsement deals demonstrate how the WNBA has neglected to recognize and compensate its largest earner. This is where the WNBA starts to look foolish. The NBA has been a major source of funding for the league since its inception. The WNBA recorded a $40 million loss even after Caitlin Clark's debut season, which helped her land a record-breaking $200 million media agreement. It's a startling difference that begs important questions. How can a league run at such a huge deficit while attracting this much interest and making this much money? And like other circumstances based on financial reliance, that support has come with conditions, compelling the league to engage in political discourse rather than simply let the game speak for itself. Therefore, the WNBA has adopted storylines that downplay Caitlin rather than placing their eggs in her basket and using her success to expand the league. The WNBA commissioner, Kathy Angelberg, has developed the habit of answering questions regarding Caitlin Clark's influence on the league. Even though Clark's games accounted for 80% of the league's top viewing, she would shift the focus to the entire class of 2024, downplaying Clark's particular impact and just stating that it was a collective effect, mentioning names like Angel Reese. However, at this point, things took an unexpected turn. Larry Bird made an unexpected offer that might make all the difference. Let's take care of some housework first. Being the only player to win Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, Finals MVP, All-Star MVP, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year, Larry Bird is recognized as one of the best basketball players of all time. Larry Bird has his own universe.
28 seconds. Bird, slap pass to Archibald. Beneath him and probably with a little off balance. Bird with the steal behind the back to Nate Archibald. Back to Bird. All right, fantastic.
Despite all of his renowned accomplishments, Caitlin Clark's and Larry Bird had a very similar journey. He is fully aware of what it's like to enter a league that doesn't extend a warm welcome to you. Many people had doubts about Larry Bird when he joined the NBA. In a league where urban athletic styles predominated, he was a white man from a little Indiana town. Caitlin Clark, who was also white, faced similar criticism when she moved from collegiate basketball to the WNBA. Legends like Diana Taurasi have a lot to say about Caitlin's impending reality.
Reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that it's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie. And, it might take a little bit longer for some people.
However, Larry Bird disproved all of his detractors, just like Caitlin did. He averaged 4.5 assists, 10 rebounds, and 22 points per game.
Bird can't get the roll, gets the rebound, hits the hoop at the buzzer. What a shot by Larry Bird. A little up fake by Oberding and a nice steal by Bird. Behind the back to Buckner. Gains the rebound.
Larry Bird won his third consecutive MVP award and an NBA title by 1986. Bird and Clark have many characteristics, such as their exceptional passing skills and long-range shooting. This is where things become even more intriguing. Additionally, Larry Bird had to deal with trash talk and excessive physical play. However, in his instance, the NBA protected him after realizing how valuable he was. In contrast to the current situation involving Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, it seems as though Caitlin's ascent poses a threat to the league. The NBA managed to create a rivalry between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And we may claim that basketball entered a new era as a result of the relocation. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent being wasted by a league too preoccupied with politics to see what truly matters, according to Larry Bird, who hasn't held back in praising her. And now we've come full circle. Because everyone has been anticipating what will happen next. Larry Bird expressed more than simply his annoyance. Simply put, he called out the WNBA. He asked that Caitlin Clark be regarded as the league's face and chastised the league's leadership for ignoring its biggest star. Bird asserts that the WNBA requires the star, not simply a star. And that star is currently sporting the number 22. Angel Reese and other players will no longer share the limelight. The WNBA must demonstrate through its actions that Caitlin Clark is, in fact, its golden goose. The WNBA must treat Caitlin the same way it has treated players like A'ja Wilson. The Las Vegas number 22 has been the focal point of the league's flawless underdog campaign. They provided her with the attention, the promotion, and the narratives that inspired supporters to support her. Caitlin Clark, who single-handedly broke viewing records, rekindled interest in the league, and attracted a new generation of supporters, has been mostly left to handle the upheaval by herself. She has no protective narrative, no campaign, and no carefully planned ascent to the top. And that's the issue. What justification is there for Caitlyn's marginalization if the WNBA was prepared to develop Asia, and appropriately so? The youngster has contributed more to the league's development in a single season than most stars have in 10, thus if anyone deserves the same support, commitment, and enthusiasm. It's time to quit acting like she's just another participant. The moment is Caitlin Clark. The WNBA must begin behaving in a same manner. In actuality, even Asia Wilson is aware of Caitlyn's authenticity. Wilson has already been set off despite Clark's obvious disadvantage. We have witnessed her play the racism card as a result. She mentioned Caitlin Clark and some fictitious white privilege during a conversation at the 2024 NCAA Women's Final Four.
It's not really about me. If she knows how her privilege got her to that point, and also like she's good at basketball, but like she understands her privilege and like pushes her over the top and everything. It reminds me a lot of you.
On the court, at the box office, and in the media, Caitlin Clark has contributed. Now that Larry Bird has spoken up, the message is even more obvious. Whether or not she belongs is no longer the question. The question is whether the WNBA has the audacity to center itself around her. Because disregarding her influence is more than just a mistake.